burger.
Gonna cry?
Well, looks like Zoro is losing. Hey now, don't say anything wrong about Zoro, okay? I warn you, man. He is not at 100% and he would beat the shit out of King if he was, okay? Hey, listen, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or something like that, okay? Don't say anything wrong. Maybe we could talk about Sanji too, huh? Fuck off. What? Huh? So, One Piece chapter 1027 is out now. And it was pretty good. So One Piece chapter 1027 starts with a great cover page because we get the Pirate King himself, Goldie Roger.
元気そうだな、ロジャー。何年ぶりだろうな。ニューゲート。
For the cover page. So Roger is doing a Luffy move, we could say that, and he is drawing something on a lion's face and laughing his ass off because laughing is his mark, and then he's running away from it and laughing. We could see Buggy and Shanks in the background. They're scared as hell, climbed up a tree because the lion got furious, but you're like, hey guys, don't be scared. Your captain is there and he can conquer Saki the shit out of that lion. So we start the chapter where we left in 1026 with Nekomamushi, and where he is outside and he sees the moon. We see a defeated Perospero on the ground, and Nekomamushi is telling Carrot and Wanda, hey, don't look up to the moon because you will transform into Sulong form. And he pretty much looks exhausted to a certain point where in the arc now that he cannot do anything else anymore. So whilst we see Nekomamushi wondering what happened, why the moon suddenly reappeared, we see Momonosuke and Yamato in the next shot after how they are remembering Kozuki Oden's words in his journal, how he described the fight between Roger and Whitebeard. Because as we all know, we saw it, Roger and Whitebeard didn't even touch due to their advanced conqueror's haki, and they did not even split the heavens, they destroyed the heavens.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
And so Luffy and Kaido did the exact same thing, like the words from the journal of Kozuki Oda and how he described the fight of Edward Newgate and Goldie Roger. We have a pretty cool shot of Kaido's club and Luffy's fist and how they're still holding like that, and the crack in between and the power of the advanced conqueror's haki is crumbling through, and it's like the entire island is shaking. All the enemies and allies in the castle itself on the live floor down below them are like, what the hell is going on here? What's going on here? We see rocks falling down and they even can't describe the situation. They're like, what's happening, man? Why is the entire island shaking? After that we can see Yamato holding her head because she's got now a wound through the attack of Kaido from a few minutes before, where they both did the Thunder Bagua, the Raimei Hake. And Yamato even herself says, man, I was really stupid to think I could defend myself of that. And it's like, yeah, but you defended yourself pretty well against your father. If that is only a scratch, the fatality you received from that attack afterwards, well done, props. So Luffy is telling Yamato, hey, take Momonosuke and help him with the island and so on, and he's describing Momonosuke as had this little snake here. I'm so tired of him. Maybe you can change his mind and he can become a little bit tougher in life. Momonosuke gets completely pissed. Again, this is a funny interaction between the two of them, and he's like, who do you call a snake, you little slut? And Luffy is like, bitch, you're the slut. I'm the better one. And then we can see Yamato jumping on Momonosuke's back so they can fly off together and come together with a plan to hold off Onigashima, but of course Kaido is there and he reacts to it and he's like, what the hell do you think you're doing? Yamato, Momonosuke. And he goes after them, and of course Momonosuke in that moment sees that and he's freaking out ridiculously. He's like, oh no, not again. Why is he chasing me? Why is he still chasing me? I'm so tired of this. Come on, please stop, please. But no worries, Momo. Yamato is there and she blocks the attack from her father again. And then Luffy comes in and he is using his legs to wrap around Kaido's neck, his 5,000 meter long thick neck. And he's like, hold up, hold up. I'm the one you're fighting, leave them alone. And Kaido is like, don't you dare touch me, kid. Need a coffee for that one. Of course, whilst Luffy grabs Kaido, he's looking to Yamato and he just says her name and looks at her. He's like, Yamato, you know what I'm thinking? And she's like, yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm your last crew member, I'm the 10th straw hat. You don't have to talk about it, I know your intention. You want to fight my father alone? And he's just like, with a big grin in his face, yeah, I just want to do that. So let me fight him. So Luffy goes at it, and in the same page we can see Yamato and Momonosuke falling down, and Momo is freaking out. He's like, this is the end, I'm falling down, I can't fly, I don't know how to fly. And that's where Yamato comes in and she's like, you dummy. This is flying 101 for dragons who ate the fish no mi model dragon. You do not fly, you grab the clouds and you dash through the air. That's what you do. And Momo just was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. And it's like, come on Momo, you gotta understand your powers a little bit more, and Yamato has all the knowledge about it, so it's like the perfect combination for this chapter. She can show him, you gotta use your powers like this, and do that, and do this, and do not do that. So whilst he dashes through, we can see giant huge rocks falling down from the island, and that is due to the fact that Kaido is getting weaker, or he has been weakened to a certain point where he cannot stabilize the entire floating island like he has done before. And this is like, hey, come on now. This freak is in his hybrid form, has been fighting continuously throughout ever since the raid started and the scarabs attacked him, and he is also maintaining an entire island, which is ridiculously huge for a certain amount of time by now. And it's like, yeah, I can understand if he's gotten weaker, but he's still in the point where it's like you're not defeating him just now, because this is the monster who's the strongest creature in the world. So Momonosuke is completely freaking out. He's like, hey, we gotta stop this. If this thing falls down on the flower capital, it's all over. And Yamato is like, hey, stop ramming your head against it. This will not work. Throughout their whole conversation, she tries to explain to him that the floating island is due to the fact because Kaido uses his dragon clouds, the clouds he created because he has the dragon powers. And she is telling him, you gotta do the same. You have the same powers as Kaido, so do it. Do use your own clouds to maintain Onigashima so you can bring the island to another place.
We should take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else!
That idea may just be crazy enough to get us all killed!
So it does not fall down right now, it does not fall down on the flower capital, and it does not fall down anywhere where it's dangerous for people, right? And Momo is like, hey, no way I can do that, I'm not strong enough for it, I'm not Kaido, I don't have the same powers as him. And Yamato is still trying to convince him, and she's like, hey, you just did grab the air and dashed through it. So this is a good point for you, which means you have a certain amount of the same powers as Kaido. So just try it, we gotta need the best shot, because if Onigashima gets unstable and falls down, or if Kaido gets defeated by Luffy now in the next chapters, and the island falls down, there will be a catastrophic explosion. And this explosion will be so grand, it will blow off the entire island. The entire island of Onigashima and everything else below it. Of course, Momonosuke is freaking out. He's like, oh my god, I am not allowed to do that. I have a responsibility. And on the other hand, it's like, hey guys, we still need the tragedy of Act 3. So I see Momonosuke hanging there and trying to hold Onigashima off or moving it somewhere else. But I also see Kaido being like, nah guys, not like this. This thing is falling, it's over. And he drops it and he's like, I don't give a shit. So while we have Momo freaking out and he's thinking of, oh shit, what happens if Luffy beats Kaido? We gotta stop him. Yamato is like, ah, you stupid brat. She's taking her club and gives him a dead shake. She's like, shut up bitch. You do not say that. And then she has this classic straw hat talking where she pushes Luffy to a certain amount of a hype and she's like, nah. She's telling to Momo, nah, Luffy will beat Kaido and you gotta respect that. We cannot give him another burden to his shoulders which he needs to carry on his own shoulders and which he has to remember all the time. He needs to have a clear mind and one focus only, that is fighting the strongest creature ever. And this is the only thing Luffy is now doing. And so Yamato is like, nah, you're not saying that, Momo, take this. Then we switch to the live floor where we see King and he is in his own hybrid form, which looks like he has his wings completely in his zone form, but his body is still in his human form or whatever he is, his Lunarian form, right? And Zoro is taking full-on hits from him because this madman is slashing everywhere and to anything and anyone. He slashes everybody. He doesn't even care anymore. Villain, ally, enemy, whatever. So many of you guys turned around against us, so I gotta slash all of you. I don't care. And he does it. He literally slashes everywhere in every direction. See Zoro flying through the live floor. I don't know where he crash landed, but he ended up being on Frankie's side. And Frankie holds him up and he's like, hey, are you okay? You look beaten. And Zoro's like, what year is it? I mean, he looks destroyed. Zoro looks really damaged. But to be honest, this man, I mean Zoro, fought against Kaido and Big Mom earlier that day and he stopped the attack from both Yonko at the same time, where even Law himself confirmed he has at least 20 to 30 broken bones in his body. And it's like, damn. And how are you standing again? Yeah, he took the medicine from the Minx, but even the doctor from the Minx side was saying like, hey, this is dangerous. Even if we give you this now and you can stand up and fight, the after effects will be ridiculous to your body.
My back! Oh, my back!
You could even... I think he wanted to say you could even die, but we will see what happens there, right? Zoro was already completely damaged and he had no power left, to be honest. So he got the medicine, he's up again, but he's not 100%. King this whole time was 100%. We gotta acknowledge that, but still, he is acknowledging King on the other hand. He's like, this guy is strong, and of course he's strong. He is the first commander of the Beast Pirate. He is the right-hand man of Kaido, if you will, so of course he needs to be a freaking monster. And that's why Zoro is saying like, hey, this guy is strong, but I didn't expect anything less, right? Queen, of course, is completely flipping out and he's like, King, you bastard, what are you doing? You nearly slashed my neck off, what the fuck, man? And King is like, I don't give a shit. I hoped you would die, bitch, you fat fool. And yeah, Queen on the other hand is like, what the fuck, man? Why are you doing this to me? Like, didn't you like my performance? Zoro is telling Frankie, hey, get out of here, this is getting ugly, and then we can see King dashing through. He's using his attack, and Zoro is using a new attack, which is called Ultra Tiger Hunt. And his attack actually slashes a bit of King's mask away. And King's attack, on the other hand, is stronger, and he flies through the castle walls outside of Onigashima. And Zoro's completely shocked. He thought, okay, man, he pushed me through, but then again, King still manages to dash even after his own attack, and Zoro is shocked. He's like, oh man, give me a rest, what are you doing to me? And then we can see how Zoro is flying out of Onigashima, and he's even on the side of the island where he is falling down to the water. And he's like, okay, I gotta stop this. He does a new technique. He slashes the air, which creates shockwave somewhat, and that pushes him back to the mainland. So the fight between King and Zoro look very interesting, because it looks like Zoro is losing and King is still nowhere near exhausted. Zoro ends up his lines, he's saying like, hey, at least take a sword in your hand and stab me with it so I can die in honor. I'm a swordsman, what are you doing? I will not forgive you if you don't do that. And King is like, oh no, I will kill you with a sword, but I will also not forgive you, because you are the first to damage my mask and show my skin color. So, and because King's mask is broken on the upper side, we can see his hair is started backwards, and he has a darker color to his skin. So this would mean the Lunarians are a race of people, humans, that are dark colored skin. And this would be, I think, the very first time in the canon manga of One Piece where we have a dark skin colored character.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
And this is pretty cool actually, because it's like, finally we get characters like that. Everybody else is, I don't know, white?
Mother, how come is everything white?
So the funny thing with the fight between Zoro and King here also is, it could very well happen that Zoro again uses Ashura and his 9 sword style, and has a technique and uses exactly the same technique he used on Kaido to one-shot King. That technique from Zoro also had the Conqueror's Haki infusion to it, but it could happen that King is not defeated by that attack and he's still standing. Maybe Yamato sees Zoro and King fighting outside of Onigashima because she and Momo are flying around the island, and Yamato will come in there with her club and Raimei Hake the shit out of King and give him the rest, and this way King is knocked out. This would be actually pretty cool, because this way Yamato could have saved Ushimaru's son, which is Zoro. We all assume that Shimotsuki Ushimaru is Zoro's father, and he took care of Yamato when she was a child, gave her food, the samurai took care of her, and Ushimaru was there. He was like, hey, don't worry kid. And when Yamato sees Zoro and she recognizes him, and then she thinks back, hey, wait a second, this guy looks like Ushimaru. And then she will combine the facts and she will like, oh wait, that's Luffy's right-hand man, that's Zoro, the pirate hunter. And he's Ushimaru's son, and he's in danger. Yeah, I got it in there. And goodbye, King. So it would be a nice repay and poetic way of saying thank you to Ushimaru by saving his son. Chapter overall was pretty good. It felt a bit short because it was split in 2 parts, the Luffy, Yamato, Momo, Kaido part and the Zoro King part, but pretty well done chapter. And now we will see how this will go and how this will finally end. The fights are reaching their climax, and soon we will hit chapter 1031. And that will be the chapter we need to look out, because according to Yudoron, the Japanese One Piece YouTube reviewer and theorist, 1031 should be the chapter where the tragedy happens in Act 3, finally.
I'll be Tracer. I'm already Tracer. What about Widowmaker? I'm already Widowmaker. I'll be Bastion. Nerf Bastion. You're right, Winston. I wanna be Winston. I can sell the
The fuck? I'll kill him!
We will see it. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the review. Leave a comment what you thought about the chapter. Maybe a like, maybe a subscription, and we'll see you later. I'll see you later. Stay good, fellas, and I can see us. Coming!